What's up, everyone? This is season 1, episode 3 of Is This What It Is? I have a great episode lined up for today. And I say that because I'm more prepared for this episode. I have notes and a whole list of topics. So when I started this show, kind of started as a joke, really. Like, if you see the name, you know what I mean. But like, I really just wanted to give my thoughts on the Super Bowl, reaction to it. And so I never really planned to do a sports show. But now that I'm doing this show, I'm actually really happy I started doing this shit, because it's fucking sick, and I get to express myself when it comes to sports and things like that. So I didn't do an episode yesterday because it's Valentines Day, and I actually celebrated it. You know what I'm saying? I had a really fucking great day. I mean, I never really celebrated Valentine's Day before yesterday, because just holidays in general, it's not really what I'm into. You know? A lot of holidays, they can be like very cringy and things like that. And, just being a follower. I'm not really a follower. Just doing things because everyone else is doing it. If I want to do something, it's because I want to do it. It's not because everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Not because everyone else is doing shit. So yeah, just to speak about Valentine's Day real quick. Let me light this joint up. It's so funny when you have a great day, you actually celebrate Valentine's Day, and then you see people, and not to shit on them, but like, you see people at work and like they're all miserable. They're like, fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? No one wants to really work on Valentine's Day, but yeah, you just see them all fucking pissed off. And just the reason why I'm really talking about it is, you know what I'm saying? I go to a restaurant. I'm not gonna say which one it is. I don't want people fucking annoying me or whatever. But I go to a restaurant. I'm making my order, and just getting some food to go. And the guy, he's like having an attitude. Not really an attitude, but he was like kind of like, I could tell he's like fucking mad that he had to work, on Valentine's Day. He probably got no girl or whatever. I'm still single, by the way. I was just, I'm saying. Shorty having fun. Really fucking great day. But yeah, I could tell he's like fucking like, mad that he gotta be at work. But it's like, yo, don't be having that no fucking attitude with me, because you gotta have a shitty day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I walk in the restaurant, I got hickeys on my neck. I'm fucking lit. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at him. He's looking like he's about to cry and shit. You fucking cornball. Well, whatever. So, first topic of the day I want to speak on is UFC 298. It's this Saturday. It's Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilya Topuria. So, Volkanovski is the featherweight champion of the UFC. His record is 26 wins, 3 losses, 0 draws. He has 13 knockouts, 3 submissions. His losses, 2 of them were by KO or TKO, and 1 was a decision. And then Ilia Topuria, he's 14-0, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 2 decisions. No losses, no draws. So, pause, no draws. But yeah, looking at his record, the way he talks and the way people talk about him, I thought he was fucking knocking everyone out. Like, I thought he had like 14 fucking knockouts, or at least like 10. He has 4 knockouts and 8 submissions, which is surprising. I didn't know he had that many submissions. And so, yeah, I mean, go ahead, definitely talk your shit. You're a fighter, but, you know, I feel like you're talking like you just knocked everyone out. And you didn't. And then you was calling Volkanovski short, pause. But it's like, yo, you and him are like the fucking same height. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you saying he looks short. What the fuck are we even talking about? So, yeah, my prediction for the fight is that Volkanovski is going to win by decision. You know, a lot of people are counting him out because his last fight, he had a short notice fight against Islam Makhachev, who is a fucking savage. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? His last fight, he got TKO'd with a head kick. They might even call it a KO, because he kind of looked like he was knocked out, but he wasn't really knocked out cold, you know? He was like, you know, he got hit with a good left head kick, and so, you know, threw his balance off and shit. Definitely a legitimate TKO, but yeah, so, you know, people are counting him out, but I'm not going to do that because he's so technically great. Like I spoke about with Shakur Stevenson, people counting him out because of one fight. It's like, yo, bro, these fighters are so technically great. You can't really do that with them. And I understand that people were saying Topuria is a great striker, which he is. His style is mainly boxing, though. So, I think they said Ilia Topuria, he got like 8 fights in the UFC, if I'm not wrong. But they said through all his fights in the UFC, he still hasn't thrown a body kick and a head kick. And he might even be the only fighter to ever do that, which is crazy because you're in MMA and you still haven't thrown a body kick or a head kick. So that means, I'm not going to say he's one-dimensional, but he has this particular focus on how he wants to win the fight. He wants to go there and knock him out or win by submission. So, pause. But yeah, you know, people, since Volkanovski got knocked out his last fight, they just want to say he's going to get knocked out this fight. But it's like, yo, this guy he's fighting, he hasn't knocked out everyone that he fought. And one of the dudes that he knocked out got really close to knocking him out in their fight. Ilia Topuria versus Jai Herbert. He got hit with the left head kick, you know? He almost got knocked out in that fight. And then he went for a takedown. He regained his balance or whatever. And he ended up knocking out Jai Herbert with a great overhand right. Put him to sleep. Pause. But yeah, yeah, so he doesn't knock out everyone. And so, with Ilia's style, like I mentioned, he doesn't really throw kicks. He's just boxing. And so when you're a boxer, when you're throwing a punch, in that process, you are susceptible to being taken down, pause. You know what I'm saying? If the other person wrestles, they can more easily get a takedown. Like when you see James Toney, when he had his MMA fight, he got taken down and submitted. He got choked out. I believe, pause, it was a head and arm choke. So, yeah, and Volkanovski, his main style of striking, but he's shown over the years, he's improved his wrestling, having to fight guys like Islam. And even before then, he's a great wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He'll take you down. You saw what he did to Yair. He took him down so easily, like he took down a little kid. Pause. That was crazy, but we're talking about wrestling here, so it's like he rocked him with the punch and he just took him down like it was nothing, like he was fighting an amateur. So when I look at that, I was thinking Volkanovski might take him down to round 4 or 5 and get the TKO. I was thinking about making that my prediction, but Topuria, I think he's good enough on the ground that he won't get knocked out. I feel like Volk might get the takedown round 4 or 5 and get the TKO. But my official prediction is he's going to win by a decision. I think Topuria may even knock him down with a punch early in the fight. But I think Volkanovski will fight back and end up winning most of the fight by wrestling, getting takedowns, scoring points with punches and control time. So that's how I think he'll win the fight. My prediction is and still. So the second topic I want to talk about is Merab Dvalishvili. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Your last name is kind of crazy. But Merab versus Henry Cejudo. Great fucking fight. So Merab has 16 wins, 4 losses, and 0 draws. Henry Cejudo 16-3, 0 draws. It's a great fucking fight. Both fighters are great wrestlers, great strikers as well. They both developed their striking game, and to the point where they can be called great strikers. So if we're looking at momentum in their career, Merab is on a big win streak. I'm not sure how much wins in a row he got. I think he's on like a 10-fight winning streak. So, and Henry Cejudo lost his last fight to Aljamain Sterling pretty decisively. Some people want to say it's pardon me. Some people want to say it's kind of debatable, but I think he lost that fight clearly. So the momentum is on Merab's side, but when you look at their styles, and even with Merab winning so many fights in a row, you can kind of get cocky, pause, or overconfidence, especially when you see your teammate just beat Cejudo the way he did. So, taking that into consideration, and I think Henry Cejudo, as far as IQ, fight IQ, because he does a lot of analysis of MMA, and he coaches fighters. So, he even coached John Jones when he won the heavyweight championship. So, yeah, I think he has better fight IQ and better striking, better timing. So, Merab, he shoots for the takedown a lot. His style is very aggressive. He's always going forward when he fights. So, I think Henry Cejudo, I think he's going to time him while he's, while Merab's moving forward. I think he's going to get him with some good punches. I think Merab is going to get more takedowns. I'm just going to make a random guess. I think he'll get like 7. And I think Henry will get 3 takedowns. But I think the majority of the fight is going to be standing, where Cejudo will get the better of the striking. I don't think any one of them is going to get knocked out or knocked down, but That's my prediction. I think Cejudo wins a decision. Next fight I want to predict is Whitaker versus Costa. Robert Whitaker versus Paulo Costa. Another great fight in the middleweight division. This could have title implications as far as who gets the next title shot. I don't know for Whitaker because he lost his last fight. But, you know, his last fight he lost was to the champ. So there might be a case there for Whitaker to get the next shot after Adesanya versus Duplessis, the champion. Because they were supposed to fight. But then Dricus Duplessis pulled out with an injury, and then Israel lost the belt to Sean Strickland, and then Duplessis beat Sean Strickland. Even though I kind of saw the highlights, I think Sean might have won, but yeah, so that's the middleweight title picture right now. Great matchup, like I said. I'm going with Costa to win by decision. You know, both fighters have great striking, great wrestling, but I think there's going to be another stand-up fight. I don't got too much to say about the fight. You know, I'm not going to say Whitaker's at the end of his career because he's still, I don't know how old is he. I don't know how old he is, but he's not really an old fighter, but he's kind of, I don't know if he's past his prime yet. He may be past his prime. And, you know, no disrespect to him. I know how fighters get about that shit, but, you know, he had his run as the champion. He's been fighting for a while. He could retire now and be in the Hall of Fame, so. Yeah, I feel like Costa, he's kind of younger in his career. He might be the younger fighter. So, you know, he's a very powerful fighter. I mean, you just look at him. Pause. He's just like brolic. So I think he'll get the better of the striking. So that's my thoughts on that fight. Give me a second. Get some water. And light this joint back up. I didn't expect this show to go anywhere, and I am excited to see where this show goes, this podcast. But you know, this is fucking lit. I gotta say, if I do say so myself, the content is just getting better. I actually got notes that I wrote, you know, some more organized. I know the first couple episodes, it was kind of like, you know, all over the place. Pause, whatever. But as far as the topics go, because I didn't really plan to do the show. But yeah, I like that I'm, you know, being more organized with the show. And, you know, I want to have a set time to where this show is uploaded. I know it's been kind of random, the first 3 episodes. But yeah, yesterday I didn't have time. I was busy. But yeah, so you know, I know in the first couple episodes I might sound like I'm slow, but it's because I was so unorganized with the topics. You know, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with the show. So, yeah, and as far as the way I talk, I know it's a funny excuse, but it's true that growing up in New York, I gotta say I love all my friends and all that shit, but people are fucking assholes, pause. I mean, they're really fucking rude people, so it's like, you know, if people are gonna be that fucked up to you, like even the best of your friends, you know what I'm saying, they say fucked up shit, and it's like, yo, what did I do to you? And they say the same thing to me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really the nicest guy, even though I want to be. I could be fucking really rude too, so. growing up, I was like, I don't really care about fucking enunciating my words. I don't really care if you know what I say because you're a fucking asshole, shitty person. I don't really fucking care to talk to anyone. I know this is like really funny to say, but it's true. It's like, and my mind works at a really fast pace, so I'm like, I'm already thinking about the next fucking thing I want to say. So I'm like, whatever. If I say all of the words that or not, I don't really fucking care. But, you know, I do care now since I'm doing the show. So I want to enunciate my words, be more organized with my topics, so you can have a better show, you know, to watch. And I do think you guys are going to appreciate this. So the next topic I want to get to is my prediction for the NBA this year. Who's going to win the finals? Who's going to make the finals? So the teams that I got from the West and the East to win to make the finals is the Clippers and the Bucks. I know it might surprise people that I got the Clippers making it to the championship, but you look at the team, they got a great fucking team. I mean, you got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden on the same team. I feel like people don't even fucking talk about anyone else on the team because look at how great those players are. That's like, it reminds me of LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Ray Allen on the same team. I mean, you can make an argument that, you know, I gotta say LeBron's team is better overall, but you can make an argument that, you know, if the Clippers were to verse that team, that's actually a really good topic. If the Clippers were to verse the Heat from that year, you can make an argument that the Clippers might win. You know what I'm saying? I think the Heat would win, but, you know, both teams are great enough that, you know, either team might win. But, yeah, I think the Clippers are going to face the Bucks this year. The Bucks got Damian Lillard, Giannis, Middleton. I don't really know too much about the rest of their team, but, you know, they got a great team this year. And I think they're going to make the championship. And I predict the Bucks to win 4-2, with the Giannis winning the MVP of the finals. Now, if these two teams were to make the championship, I mean, you look at the way they match up. I do think the Clippers have the faster team. They probably play a more faster-paced game, which can win them a few games. But I think overall, the Bucks are more consistent, and they have a more a clear way of how they want to win. So when you got 4 players like, you know, the Clippers got that are so great, who's going to take the game-winning shot? I feel like the Bucks have a more clear focus on what they would want to do. So where if it's a 3-pointer, if they need 3, they go with Lillard. They go with Damian Lillard. And if they need 2, they probably go with Giannis, you know, to go make a layup or a post shot, maybe even mid-range. But even their team is kind of like some confusion because when you see that game-winning 3-point shot that Damian Lillard made, Giannis was calling for the ball. And, you know, if Lillard missed that shot, that might have caused some sort of tension between them, you know, some negativity. Like, yo, I was open, you should have passed me the ball. Pause. You know? But I don't think that's going to be the case, you know? I think Lillard will make the threes. And Giannis can make the threes. And he can make, you know, post shots Lillard can too. You know, he's a great at driving, making layups, dunks, all that. So, yeah, that's why I think the Bucks would win. And then as the regular season MVP, I think Luka's gonna win because he's just going crazy. He had a argument for him to win even last year. He was doing great, but yeah, you know, I think Embiid won last year, if I'm not wrong. And either him or Jokic could have won. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, it's a good prediction. You can comment your prediction. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Next topic I want to talk about is my Jets. I'm a Jets fan. So, let me light this joint real quick. Yeah, so for the 2024-2025 season, I think Rodgers will be back, and I think he got enough rest and enough, enough of a fire to come back and play every game this season. Not that it was his fault that he got injured, but you know, he says he's coming back with a vengeance, and I believe him. You know, a quarterback that great, he legitimately can be considered the GOAT. He's in that conversation. As far as his skills go, he won one championship. So as far as accomplishments, I don't think he's the GOAT. Skill wise, I think it's debatable. I think you can say he's the GOAT, but personally, I think for his accuracy and his accomplishments, all the championships he's won, I think Brady got 6 or 7. I think Tom Brady's a GOAT. You know, his accuracy is incredible. I think it's him or Dan Marino. And I got to do more research on Dan Marino's career before I really decide who I think is the GOAT. But it's like Aaron Rodgers, his career isn't over yet. So, you know, I think he's going to come back. I think the Jets are going to have a good season, you know? And I actually think they're going to surprise people. They're going to have a great season. I mean, I don't know if you're going to say 10-7 is great, but I think they're going to go 10-7 and reverse the year they had last year, which was 7-10 without Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he got injured on the first play, not the first play, but the first drive of the season. So for them to win 7 games just based off their defense pretty much. And Wilson had a couple of good games, but wasn't consistent enough for him to even start the whole year. He got benched. So, you know, I think it's fair to say that they can win 10 games. It's not crazy to say that, you know. I think they make the playoffs and they win 1 game. And, you know, I don't think they're going to get past the second week. You know, just my prediction. But we'll see. Another thing I want to talk about with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers in particular is, you know, I do have doubts with my prediction because of, I feel like Aaron Rodgers, he may kind of have a bad attitude. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Like, maybe have a problem with his ego as far as, you know what I'm saying? When you're so great at a sport or just anything in general, you're going to have an ego and, you know what I'm saying, kind of be talking shit. And so I saw a video of him, like, in practice with a couple of his teammates. I think they were on defense or whatever. He's like, oh, are you guys actually going to practice this today? You know, like, are you guys actually gonna work today or whatever? And it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, who the fuck are you talking to? You know what I'm saying? I feel like they might have been thinking that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm on the team too. I made the NFL too. Like, what do you mean? Are we gonna practice today? Now, I don't know the whole backstory. Pause. You know, as far as maybe they didn't practice, but I mean, like, the way he's talking to him, and just New York in general. You know what I'm saying? When you come to New York, and people don't like that shit. You're gonna come over here and fucking be talking crazy to us. You know what I'm saying? We're great players too in our own right. I don't know who he was even talking to. I don't know those players, but and as far as what he said about his coach, like, you know, in Green Bay, he was like, one of his coaches, I don't know who he's talking about. He's like, yo, I won more Super Bowls than you, or whatever the fuck he said, or the same amount of Super Bowls. So he's like, just for him to even say something like that in public about your coach, you know, to be like, Paul's like, ego battling with your coach and being on some shit like, oh, I know more than you. As a player, you gotta listen to your coach, you know. As a quarterback, you do have more room to have your own say as far as the plays you run, because you're on the field and you're actually making the plays. So you may call an audible to the coach's play. But, you know, as far as publicly, you challenging your coach like that, I think it's a bad character trait. You see the way he talks on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Him talking crazy about Jimmy Kimmel, and then they said he wasn't even on the Epstein list. So I feel like, you know, he kind of has a shitty attitude. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's a cool dude in person. I never met him. But, yeah, I feel like when it comes to New York, you know what I'm saying? Everyone has a bad attitude. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to fucking hear shit from anyone. So if you're going to, you know, your first year in the team, you're talking to your teammates like that, it's not good. But I hope you do great. I hope we win every fucking game. I hope we win the Super Bowl this year. You know? So there's that. Next topic I want to talk about is the future of boxing. I heard people saying, is the future of boxing in doubt, as far as pay-per-views and the sport. Now, I don't know if you're saying, is boxing going to die? Like, are people going to stop being professionals? Is the sport going to die? I don't think that's going to happen. As far as pay-per-views, boxing may be going on a downtrend, but, you know, they're talking about Canelo and Terrence Crawford fighting. That's a great fight, you know? So what about that? In the heavyweight division, you got Usyk, you got Tyson Fury. You still got all these people who have at least, I know Usyk probably got at least like 7 more years in his career. Fury may have 3 or 4 more. So I don't think the future of boxing is really in danger, especially with the YouTube boxers, Jake Paul and them. They brought so much attention to the sport, so much more money. So I don't think boxing is in. I don't think the future of boxing is really in doubt, like people may think. You know? Especially when you got celebrities fighting each other. I mean, we saw fucking Nate Robinson get knocked out by Jake Paul. And I didn't want to see that. I'm like, yo, that's a fucking bad matchup, bro. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul was like, you know, he weighed more than him. I think he's like taller too. Like, you know, it wasn't a good matchup. I don't like that shit. But as far as attention goes, that got a lot of views to the sport. So when you have that, these Twitch streamers are like crazy popular, so they can bring a lot of money. So I think boxing will be okay. You know, don't trip. Boxing will be good. I mean, it's a great sport. You know, when it comes to, there's so much skill when it comes to boxing. There's so much history. So no, I don't think boxing is in doubt. The future of boxing. And so the last topic of this episode I want to speak on is Max Holloway and his future. Because I don't know if he's going to fight at featherweight anymore. So I was thinking about Volkanovski and who is he going to fight next if he wins this fight. You know, I don't really know maybe Josh Emmett. But who are the next contenders? I know Josh Emmett's doing good. He's getting fucking crazy knockouts. But, yeah, so what's next for Max Holloway? As far as, I was thinking about him getting another fight with Volk, because he's been fucking shit up in the featherweight division since he had his third loss to Volk. And I think he won one of the, maybe even the first two fights he won. The first one was debatable, I think. More debatable. I think he might have won that fight. The second fight, I think Volk might have won. I don't know. I think that one's kind of debatable. And then the third one, Volk clearly won. But as far as getting a third fight against Alexander Volkanovski, I think he has to win the 155-pound title if he wants to get that fight back against Volk. You know, if he wants to ever do a fourth fight, which is doubtful that they'll ever do a fourth fight. But, you know, I think Figueiredo and Moreno, didn't they fight 4 times? If I'm not wrong, they fought 3 times, but, you know, so it may have happened before in the UFC, but it's doubtful that he will get another fight against Alexander Volkanovski, you know? So I heard he's gonna fight Justin Gaethje for the BMF belt, which is crazy. And he has a great chance of winning that fight, especially with his new style. He just knocked out the Korean Zombie. He's throwing more power, which is what I said he should have been doing. Because, you know, he is a volume striker. So sometimes when you do that, you don't throw as much power. So in fights against Volk, it kind of went against him because Volk had more significant strikes, you know? So I think his new style gives him a better chance against Gaethje. I'm not going to give a prediction for that fight yet. I might do that next episode, but yeah, that's a great fight. So if he does win the BMF belt, I think he does have a chance to beat Islam Makhachev. You know, people are going to write him off in that fight, but, you know, let's see what happens there. I may even give my prediction for that fight next episode too, but yeah, you know, as far as Max Holloway's future, I don't think he's ever going to fight at featherweight again. I don't think he wants to cut the weight. So let's see what he does at 155, and I think it's interesting, you know, where his career is going to go from here. So there you go. Season 1, episode 3. Fucking awesome episode. I'm working to give you guys better content, to be more organized. And, you know, I think this is great. Subscribe for more. You know what I'm saying? Hit the follow button on Instagram. Hit like and comment what you guys think. There it is. Is this what it is? Season 1, episode 3.